Senate Bill SCR 1024. Short title, Initiative, Tax Increases, Vote Requirement. Oh boy, this is, it was introduced by Senator Petersen, and it's going to be heard in the House Ways and Means Committee on Wednesday. This bill, actually, what it is, it's SCR, and which stands for Senate Concurrent Resolution. We've mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again. Whenever you have one of these concurrent resolutions, what it means is one of two things. Either it's a do-nothing bill, just just a little indicating a dream, or being in favor of this, that, or the other, or it would be a bill that, if passed, instead of going to the governor for a signature, it goes to the people for a vote. And that's exactly what's happening here. If this bill passes both chambers, it goes to the voters to vote it up or down. What it does is that it says very simply that in order to have a tax increase via an initiative or whatever, anything that the voters are involved in, it has to pass by a 2/3 majority. In other words, you need a supermajority to pass that. Now, before people start talking about, well, this is disenfranchising people, this is putting undue pressure on people, and so on and so forth, and we have the right to do this or that. Keep in mind that the state legislature cannot have a tax increase unless it passes by 2/3 majority. Okay? So what we're doing here, if this were to pass and if this were to be approved by the voters, is that you would have the same restriction for an initiative as you do for the legislature. In other words, if you want to have a tax increase, you have to have a 2/3 majority in order to do it. To me, it makes perfectly good sense. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And keep in mind that once you have a tax increase created by an initiative, and not just a tax increase, any statute that you create by initiative is there forever and ever, because the only way that it can be modified is by another initiative. The legislator cannot touch it. Nobody can touch it unless the people change it. So you have to be very careful as to what happens here. And requiring a 2/3 majority in order to increase a tax makes a lot of sense, to me anyway. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Archie agrees with me or not, but that's my position, and I'm sticking to it.
No, I agree, but I mean, under the current law, in order for an initiative or a referendum to pass, it requires 50% plus one vote. And under this, it increases that figure from 50% plus one vote to 60%. So, whether you're for it or you're against it is a matter for you to make a determination. But in my humble opinion, it's probably a pretty good idea.
The only problem here is getting people to do it, because you via the initiative process are going to say that for tax increases you are limiting your ability, because you cannot just pass it with a simple majority. It would take 2/3, and that would be more difficult. But if you think about this in the proper manner, what's best for everyone from now on, and that this would be a good thing. So I suggest that you contact House Ways and Means Committee members, and you express your opinion in favor of SCR 1024.